welcome to the ladies' dressing room. Today I'm going to be sharing the layering pieces that I reach for most. And they are just those finishing touches. Some things I do not leave home without, especially around this time of year. You would think that, oh, it's warm, it's going to be hot, especially where I am. It can get into, the hundreds basically. And why would I need to have a layering piece around this time? Well, when we go inside, they blast the AC everywhere, it seems. And so I personally either like to have my shoulders covered or just like to bring a layering piece. And so I wanted to share some of them with you today. And especially if this is something that you've been, how do you layer some things over some of these beautiful dresses that you may have? So first and foremost, one of the pieces that I have had for years and years and years, and this came from Forever 21. Yes, it did. Oh, it's H&M. I'm sorry, not Forever 21. But I did find one from Forever 21 around the same time that I found this one. And it was about the same color, and I loved it so much, but then I think it got a hole in the elbow or something. Anyway, this one I have loved because of the color, and not only that, but because of how thin it was. It was just so elegant, in my opinion. It does have a drop shoulder to it, and it's just thin. Maybe some would call this an oatmeal color, but I feel that it has just the slightest tinge of blush to it. And so it is my perfect neutral. I would love to have a trench coat in this, which we will be discussing coats this month too, so stay tuned for that. But today we're just talking about those light layering pieces that you may need for different things, like when you are in a restaurant or when you go grocery shopping. Sometimes you just want to have something like that. When I go on a cruise, I always take this. I don't leave home without it because it could just be chilly, or you go out into the wind and you just want to have something to cover your arms with. It makes all the difference. And you could be so uncomfortable just because of a little bit of chill in the air, and then it kind of ruins your time. So making sure that you carry something that you can cover yourself with is something a lady must remember. So this one that kind of goes below my rear, I would say, it's just a nice length to be able to layer over some of these dresses that have less coverage on the shoulders especially. So I typically don't like to purchase dresses that don't have much coverage because for me, I like to be able to go anywhere and not have to have something to layer. But if I do wear something like that, I definitely will bring a layering piece with me because I just like to have that option to cover my back more, cover my shoulders, and especially depending on where I'm going. So even when I'm outside, I still like to have a layer over my skin because I don't like to be exposed to the sun too much without something to cover me. So anyway, this one has been wonderful. It doesn't have any kind of closure in the front or anything. It's just something that I can put. I can even just put it over my shoulders if I want to, like so, which that's what we're going to talk about now. Something like this little shawl here that I have, which came from Charming Charlie years ago. I love this one. I don't use it often enough, but it is so beautiful and something that is very elegant, so refined, just beautiful and light. And I feel like even something like this that looks so sheer is wonderful to have when you are in a restaurant or just somewhere where it's just a little too chilly. And then when you're not using it, you can easily just fold it up. I'm gonna get lost here in my shawls. You can just fold it up like that. You can lay it over your purse if you want to. You can tie it on so that it doesn't fall off or whatever you may be worried about. Or you can even use it as a scarf if you wanted to. That's the wonderful thing about some of these shawls. So just depending on what you're wearing, you can wear it as a scarf, you can wear it as a shawl. I love this piece, and it's one of my most elegant pieces, I feel. And like I said, I should bring it out more often. So then I also have this pink one that has a little bit more blue to it, I would say, of the kind of pink. So this is blush, and then this one just has a little bit more blue in it. But this one kind of looks like a very sheer cotton or linen. I don't know what you would call it, but it just maybe cotton, a very thin cotton to it, and then it has the edging that is, you know, kind of rough edging, or I don't know what you would say about it. But this one is so nice to pair with dresses as well, and just to be able to cover yourself. I've used this even in the movie theater. I love to take a blanket with me if I'm going to the movie theater, and we can't just go to any movie theater now. We must go to the luxury ones where they recline, where they have heated seats. I've gotten very spoiled with movies, and I just feel like they're not even worth going to anymore if you do not have all of those things. I mean, I have, but I just really prefer to be very comfortable. And with that means I must have a blanket with me. But if I do not have a blanket, something like this would work just fine, because at least I'm covered, and that's a great thing about a shawl, and or even a scarf. This was actually in the scarf section. I think I got this at TJ Maxx. It was either TJ Maxx or, wait, what was it? I think it was, I can't remember now. Was it Apartment 9? I don't know. TJ Maxx, Kohl's, or Ross. But you know how they have these near the purse section, and they're usually in a ring, and they're just hanging up there? Those are the best. So you can wear it in several different ways. You can just wear it over your shoulders if you wanted to. A wonderful way to wear it too is to just kind of wrap it like this. You probably can't see everything that I'm doing, but I'm letting it drape over my arm like so. But another way that you could wear it is just kind of like this. Drape it over you on one side, and that's such an elegant way to wear it as well. Then we will move on to this little cardigan that I have here, which just has a single button on it. I really like this one because it has this pointelle weave to it that is so pretty, and I really look for pieces like this that have a lot of detail in them now. They're just delicate and lovely to pair with something that maybe you just want to put it over your shoulders or even on your arms. Something like this is nice if you don't want to fuss with, say, a shawl, for instance. You want it to stay put. And then I really like this single button on it because for some reason that is just so elegant in my opinion. And then it can just open up near the bottom, and it's cut in such a way where it's shorter but not too short. You've seen those ones that are a little too short. They come just below the bust. This one is right at the waist. And so finding one that hits you at the right spot makes all the difference, especially when it comes to looking pulled together and then maybe looking a little dowdy. So that's something to keep in mind, and it will take time to find the right one. So just be aware of that. So that brings us to today's dress of the day, which is by Blue Pepper. And this one has such a nice weight to it. It has a linen mixture to it, and at least I think it does. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself here. But the skirt has a nice A-line to it that is just wide enough to where it swings beautifully. This is a dress that is longer that I would usually pair with maybe a wedge or just a heel. I could wear flats with it, of course, but something longer like this, I would probably like to wear a little bit of a heel with it. But like I said, it would be a dress that I would definitely want to pair with something over my shoulders, some kind of cardigan or shawl, and that way I don't feel as exposed and I have more options as to coverage. And so getting this in this cream color, I think, was really nice because it can pair with so many different things. And I'm one that really does love a good neutral, but also pairing neutrals together. I think that this is so pretty and has that quiet elegance about it. And usually whenever I'm out and about and I just see a really well-dressed lady, usually she is just in all different creams and whites, and it just looks stunning. And so this is something that I was thinking about when I purchased this dress, which came from TJ Maxx, and just pairing it with some other neutral or something very light. So that's usually why I do purchase any kind of shawl or cardigan in a neutral or in a light cream or blush tone, because I'm always thinking about what I would pair it with, and I don't want it to be too loud, but that's just me. So anyway, I feel that the neutrals can kind of pair well together and just with other things. I would love to know in the comments below, what kind of light layering pieces do you usually go with? Are these things that you are needing to add to your wardrobe, or is this something that you make sure to have plenty of and you don't leave home without? Today's dressing space comes from Dottie. She says, the first photo shows my end of our closet, which is very spacious when compared to our previous home, a 1704 farmhouse with closets so shallow a hanger wouldn't hang properly in it. This one feels like absolute luxury. The floral bins on the shelf above the clothing on the right of the photo are from Home Goods recently. They are actually hampers, but have an extra piece of fabric with a drawstring at the top that make them perfect for off-season storage, and they are tall, so there is less wasted space above the shelf area. The second photo is where I get ready every day because of the wonderful bright morning light. The drawers in the vanity house the necessities. I prefer a clean, uncluttered countertop. The wallpaper above the mirror is a new addition, inspired by Nikki, from Amazon. Easy to do, and that small touch brings me so much joy. Thank you again for all the effort you invest in both Inspired by Nikki and the ladies' dressing room. Both of those do inspire me to get small projects done to keep my home spaces fresh, as well as making the effort to dress well every day. Dottie, your closet and your bathroom are such refreshing spaces. I feel like walking into this space would be a breath of fresh air, just with the coloring. It's so elegant to me, and I really do like the way that you put your wallpaper above the mirror. That is something that is very unique, not something that I've seen done. And also just walking into your closet, this is so beautiful because of all of the colors that you use. I can really tell that you have honed in on your style. And what you did with the hampers was a really great idea because there is so much wasted space, I feel, above in a closet, especially a standard closet that should be utilized, but how does one utilize it? So putting a hamper up there was very, very smart, and I think that that tip is something that many of us haven't thought of, but that you have definitely inspired us with. But then I like what you did with your other space too. Everything looks so nice and organized and very intentional. Your colors just make me think of the sky, and I see that you have bird decor in there, and it's all so pretty. So thank you so much for sharing this space with us. You gave us so many different ideas, and I look forward to incorporating some of these in my own spaces. Thank you, Dottie, for sharing your space with us. I know that it will inspire so many ladies, as it did myself. And if you have yet to send in your picture, I hope that you will, of your dressing space. You can email me at inspiredbynikkiyt@gmail.com. Everything that you would need to know to be able to send it is in my description box below, and I hope that you will read those requirements before you send it my way. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope that something in today's video inspired you in some way, and that you will choose beauty every day.